Imagine carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, knowing a single decision could unleash unimaginable destruction. This is the chilling reality for the leaders of nuclear-armed nations, shadowed by aides carrying the ominous nuclear football, a briefcase with the power to end civilization. This isn't a Tom Clancy thriller, it's the terrifying reality of our modern world. This unassuming briefcase, often nicknamed the Red Suitcase in Russia, symbolizes the awesome and terrifying power of nuclear weapons. It represents the ultimate responsibility, the ability to trigger a chain reaction with global, irreversible consequences. Our exploration delves into this red suitcase, examining its history, functionality, and the chilling implications of its potential use. We'll navigate the complex world of nuclear command and control, separating fact from fiction and relying on expert analysis and historical context. Join us as we unravel the chilling reality of the nuclear threat, a threat that persists even as the world grapples with other pressing challenges. The Red Suitcase, a silent sentinel of potential apocalypse, demands our attention. Its existence begs the question, can humanity bear the burden of its own destructive capabilities? The image of a world leader single-handedly initiating nuclear war with a push of a button is a dramatic staple of Hollywood, but the reality is far more nuanced. The Red Suitcase itself doesn't house a big red button. Instead, it contains a secure communication system, authentication tools, and strategic information, allowing the leader to authenticate their identity and communicate launch orders. Think of it as a mobile command center, a conduit connecting the leader to the vast nuclear arsenal at their disposal. Inside, one might find communication equipment, encrypted codes, and strategic options, all designed to ensure reliable communication and unambiguous orders in a crisis. The actual launch process is far more complex than a single button press, involving a chain of command and multiple confirmations. However, the simplicity of the suitcase's exterior belies the terrifying power it holds. Its unassuming appearance underscores the chilling fact that the fate of millions rests on the judgment and actions of a select few. The Red Suitcase, therefore, serves as a constant, chilling reminder of the ever-present threat of nuclear war. The concept of a portable nuclear launch system emerged during the Cold War, a period marked by intense paranoia and technological one-upmanship between the United States and the Soviet Union. The development of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, in the late 1950s created a need for a system that allowed leaders to respond to a nuclear attack quickly. The United States introduced the nuclear football during the Kennedy administration, while the Soviet Union developed its version, the Cheguy, shortly after. These systems aimed to ensure continuity of government and retaliatory capability in a nuclear strike, embodying the doctrine of mutually assured destruction, MAD. The existence of these suitcases, however, also highlighted the fragility of peace in a nuclear-armed world. The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, where the world teetered on the brink of nuclear war, served as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences that even a miscalculation or miscommunication could have. Contrary to popular belief, the process of launching a nuclear attack is far from simple. It involves a complex sequence of events, checks, and balances designed to prevent accidental or unauthorized launches. At the heart of this system lies the concept of command and control, a tightly controlled process ensuring that only authorized personnel can order the use of nuclear weapons. The first step in this process involves the identification and authentication of the national leader. This is where the Red Suitcase comes into play, containing authentication tools and codes that verify the leader's identity. Once authenticated, the leader can communicate with military commanders, receiving information about the threat and potential response options. If the leader decides to authorize a nuclear strike, they must transmit a launch order to the military. This order, containing specific attack codes, is independently verified by multiple individuals to ensure its authenticity and prevent unauthorized launches. This process, known as the two-man rule, acts as a safeguard against rogue actors or technical malfunctions. The two-man rule stands as a critical safeguard in the nuclear command structure. This principle mandates that two authorized individuals must independently verify and authorize the use of nuclear weapons. This redundancy aims to prevent accidental or unauthorized launches, ensuring that no single individual can initiate a nuclear strike. The two-man rule operates at various levels of the nuclear command chain. For instance, inside a nuclear launch facility, two crew members must agree to turn their launch keys simultaneously, preventing a lone actor from launching a missile. Similarly, the red suitcase system often incorporates a two-person authentication process, requiring the leader and a designated official to confirm their identities and orders. However, some experts argue that the two-man rule, while intended as a safety measure, could become a single point of failure. If one individual in the chain is compromised, coerced, or incapacitated, it could hinder the ability to execute a legitimate launch order. This potential vulnerability highlights the complex balance between security and efficiency in nuclear command and control systems. The history of nuclear weapons is unfortunately punctuated by several near-miss incidents where technical glitches, miscommunication, or human error nearly resulted in catastrophic consequences. These events, often shrouded in secrecy, offer chilling reminders of the fragility of peace in a nuclear-armed world and the ever-present potential for disaster. One such incident occurred in 1979 when a faulty computer chip at NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, falsely indicated a large-scale Soviet nuclear attack on the United States. For a tense 6 minutes, U.S. forces were on high alert, preparing for retaliation before the error was discovered. This incident exposed the vulnerabilities of early warning systems and the potential for technological failures to escalate into a full-blown nuclear crisis. Another harrowing incident took place in 1983, when a Soviet satellite early warning system malfunctioned, reporting incoming U.S. missiles. Fortunately, the Soviet officer in charge, Stanislav Petrov, correctly identified the alert as a false alarm, preventing a potential retaliatory strike. Petrov's actions, driven by gut instinct and a healthy dose of skepticism, averted a potential nuclear holocaust. The potential for misinformation and miscalculation in a nuclear crisis adds another layer of complexity and danger to an already volatile situation. In the heat of a crisis, with tensions running high and information often incomplete or unreliable, the risk of misinterpreting an adversary's actions or intentions increases dramatically. The Cold War witnessed several instances where such miscalculations nearly led to disaster. One such example is the Able Archer 83 exercise, a NATO military exercise that the Soviet Union misinterpreted as a genuine prelude to a nuclear attack. Soviet forces were placed on high alert, and tensions soared as the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. These incidents highlight the critical importance of clear communication, reliable intelligence, and a healthy dose of skepticism in managing nuclear crises. The fog of war, characterized by uncertainty, fear, and confusion, can easily distort perceptions and lead to catastrophic misjudgments. Mutually assured destruction, a deterrent or a gamble. The concept of mutually assured destruction, MAD, emerged as a cornerstone of Cold War nuclear strategy. MAD posits that the possession of vast nuclear arsenals by both the United States and the Soviet Union acted as a deterrent against nuclear war. The logic held that neither side would risk a first strike, knowing that it would inevitably lead to their own annihilation. This doctrine, while seemingly paradoxical, aimed to create a stable balance of terror, where the fear of unimaginable consequences prevented either side from resorting to nuclear weapons. The sheer destructive power of nuclear weapons, capable of wiping out entire cities and populations in an instant, became the ultimate guarantee against their use. However, critics argue that MAD is a dangerous and unstable gamble. It relies on the assumption of rationality on both sides, a precarious proposition in the heat of a crisis. Furthermore, MAD does not account for accidental launches, miscalculations, or the actions of rogue states or actors. Living on the razor's edge, the psychological toll of nuclear command. The immense responsibility of commanding nuclear forces weighs heavily on those entrusted with it. The knowledge that a single decision could unleash unimaginable destruction creates a unique and unrelenting psychological burden. Leaders and military personnel tasked with nuclear command operate under constant pressure, their judgment and mental fortitude constantly tested. The psychological toll of living with this burden is immense. Sleepless nights, anxiety, and the constant awareness of the stakes involved can lead to stress, burnout, and even mental health issues. The individuals entrusted with these roles must grapple with the moral implications of their duties, carrying the weight of millions of lives on their shoulders. Moreover, the secretive nature of nuclear command and the taboo surrounding the discussion of nuclear war can create a sense of isolation and secrecy. The individuals involved often carry the burden of their responsibilities alone, unable to share their fears or anxieties with loved ones or the public. Breaking the chain alternative visions of nuclear control. The current system of nuclear command and control, while designed to prevent accidental or unauthorized use, remains vulnerable to human error, technical malfunction, and deliberate misuse. As technology advances and the geopolitical landscape evolves, exploring alternative approaches to managing nuclear weapons becomes increasingly crucial. One such alternative involves shifting away from centralized command and control structures towards more decentralized models. This could involve distributing decision-making authority among a wider group of individuals or institutions, making it more difficult for a single actor to initiate a launch. Another approach focuses on technological solutions to reduce the risk of accidental or unauthorized use. This could include incorporating biometric authentication, artificial intelligence-based threat assessment, or other advanced technologies into nuclear command and control systems. The goal is to create more robust safeguards against human error and malicious actors. The clock is ticking towards disarmament or disaster. The red suitcase, a potent symbol of humanity's capacity for self-destruction, serves as a stark reminder of the precariousness of our existence in the nuclear age. The threat of nuclear war may have receded from the forefront of public consciousness since the end of the Cold War, but the danger remains all too real. As we navigate an increasingly uncertain future, marked by geopolitical tensions, technological advancements, and the proliferation of nuclear weapons, the need for urgent action on nuclear disarmament has never been greater. The international community must work together to reduce nuclear arsenals, strengthen non-proliferation treaties, and ultimately eliminate the existential threat posed by these weapons of mass destruction. The choice before us is clear. We can continue down the path of nuclear deterrence, forever teetering on the brink of annihilation, or we can choose a different future. A future free from the shadow of nuclear war, where the red suitcase becomes a relic of a bygone era, a reminder of the folly of our past, and the hope for a more peaceful future.